So let's go to the next question.
What type of vehicles do not qualify for coverage?
So we understood which ones did qualify. Now let's understand the ones that do not. Any vehicle weighing more than 19,500 pounds with more than 2 axles and 6 tires do not qualify as a rideshare delivery vehicle. Examples of non-qualifying vehicles are a single unit truck, a 30-foot, moving van, beverage truck, home heating oil truck, armored car, minibus, tow truck, flatbed, tractor trailer, 40-foot or 50-foot, moving truck, dump truck, transit bus, freight truck, concrete truck, gravel truck, articulated bus, thank you, and a Greyhound bus. Bicycles are not covered. So there you go, Mr. Randy and Sherranda, any comments on those?
No, we got the CDL.
I have a quick question. Can this vehicle be also leased, or it has to be owned by the member?
Has to be owned.
Yeah.
So if I just real quickly,
we're gonna get into the details of that in about 2 more questions.
Okay,
yeah, we're gonna get the questions out of the chat.
Okay, so let's go to the next question here.
Who should I market the ride share and delivery supplement to?
Okay, here's another key one that I highlighted, and everybody needs to pay close attention to this. Anyone who uses an automobile, pickup truck, or van solely owned and operated by themselves. So you have to really pay close attention to the verbiage of this sentence. And using the transportation or delivering of people, items, or products for income producing activities that are legal. Examples including Uber, Lyft drivers, as well as pizza and food delivery, because a lot of these people are using their own vehicles to do that. Okay.
Legal Shield said it has to be legal.
It has to be legal. That's right. That's right. And so kind of like driving on a driver's license is not legal. Well, you're driving illegal, okay? And that defaults to a 25%. Okay, so hopefully that's clear for everybody. All right, next question.
If the member is no longer providing a ride share or delivery service, should they cancel the service?
Okay.
Move your page up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
So the question is, if the member is no longer providing a ride share or delivery service, should they cancel the service?
Okay, this is a decision that the member will need to make, and some questions to help with the decision process should include: will you or your spouse be providing a delivery or ride share service in the near future? So they have to really ask them that question before you cancel. And number 2, are you concerned about an audit you had to attach a Schedule C or Schedule E for your return? Now, Mr. Randy, what is that Schedule E?
Well, this is the most important part in my mind about this particular program is the Schedule C, Schedule E protection, because that's where they take their deductions and their mileage write-off and the different things that they use to offset that income from that vehicle, just like we do in our business, because we need that Schedule C and Schedule E protection with us being 1099 contractors or what have you through our taxes. And so this to me is one of the biggest portions that this is going to make an easy sell to me with the people that are making an income, because if they get a tax audited on their taxes, If they've said that they've drove 32,000 miles and what have you, and took 57 cents a mile for it, this is where this portion of the product is going to step in and make sure that they don't get taken to the cleaners on it.
Okay. So if the answer is yes to either or both questions, then keeping the supplement would provide peace of mind and the continued coverage. If the answer is no to both questions, then downgrading to the legal plan only can be done. The member will need to email member services or call them with a request. So that's member services can make that change of canceling or reducing that plan down. So,
Go ahead.
Sherranda, any comments on this one before we leave it?
No, but let's, before we leave this page, let's, the questions about the, what type of vehicles. So can we tackle some of those?
Yes.
Okay, so Sanella was asking about, can the vehicle be leased? So Sanella, you had another question to come back with that?
So I still didn't get an answer. The vehicle has to be owned. That means you cannot make you cannot owe money to the bank, like making payments on your car on a monthly payment. You have to basically own a pink slip. Is that what that means by owning a vehicle, by owning a pink slip to the vehicle? Or does that also mean that you can be making payments like on monthly payment installments or leasing the particular vehicle because your name is still on it? So if we can just clarify, that would be great.
Mr. Randy, why don't you take that?
It's the registered name on the title, no matter whether a bank holds a lien against it or not. In other words, if the car is registered in your name on the title, whether a bank holds a lien against it or not makes no difference because you're still the owner of the car. The bank just holds a lien against it. They don't own the car, you do, but you have to pay that note off or else they will own it.
So basically, it goes with the registration, with the registered. If the member is a registered owner of that vehicle,
the car. Yeah, if they're the registered owner of the car, then they can have this supplement.
thank you.
So if you're registered as an owner and still making payments, that's one thing. But if you're leasing that vehicle as a lease vehicle, then that's another. Yep. Will not be covered.
And that means like riders and stuff like that. You know how people lease the rider trucks? That's what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
Like the big rider trucks and budgets and things like that. No.
Yep.
Okay, so it's another question, Mr. E. Daniel Smith. How about town and country? I don't know what that means. Mr. Smith, you want to unmute and clarify that?
I noticed that some of the DoorDash people are driving town and country vans, you know, the Chrysler vans, and so because they can pick up more, make more pickups, and cover more at a time, and they can cover bigger meals. Like some of them are covering some of the bigger meal packages because they can afford, because they have a bigger vehicle.
Gotcha. You know what he's talking about, guys? Like the Odyssey, the family van. You know, the little family vans. You know?
Yeah, the soccer mom van. There you go, soccer mom van.
Right. Exactly, Mr. Dunbar. You couldn't say it better.
Guillermo, can you stop running on our screen?
Mr. Smith, if you'll read the little portion up there that says
Guillermo, hold on just a minute, Randy. Guillermo, can you stop writing on our screen?
Mr. Guillermo, you gonna make me come to California and get you, brother.
Okay, so go ahead, Randy.
If you read the question up there, it says 2-axle vehicle. It has a front axle that does the steering, the back axle that does the driving, and there's less than 6 tires, and it doesn't carry over 19,500 pounds. It qualifies.
And
no matter the shape of the vehicle.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So
That's like a half-ton pickup truck 3/4 ton pickup truck, and a 1 ton. So they can come in different sizes, but if it meets those parameters Randy just told you, it does qualify.
Sorry.
Get,
Okay, Sherranda, the next question.
okay, so, somebody asked to drive large RVs don't need a CDL as long as they don't carry over 15 passengers. I don't know what that means. I'm sure you don't need no, you don't need a CDL. You wouldn't need this either. I don't know about that. Okay, the next, how about a privately owned stretch limousine? You know, some of those limousine drivers, they own the limousine. So they want to know, can they have the membership?
If he
Once
owns
again,
it,
The criteria, 6 tires or less,
there
2
you go.
axles, a steering axle, a pulling axle, no more than 19,500 pounds.
Okay, so, okay, since with this CDL, we're not talking about marijuana over here. So how about, Bob Frazier said, like the party buses, or 2 acts of party buses covered if owned by a single person. You know, the party buses.
So long, they should be, so long as they're not covered. You'd have to check that bus situation up there in the not covered minibus. If it falls under a minibus, it may not be covered
Yeah.
because it
Okay.
says, it explicitly says minibuses. And so that may,
Okay. So, you guys talked about this. So Louis Alaman asks, how about owner handyman pickup truck? So I guess the handyman owns the pickup truck, so he could get this plan, right? It's just him, right? Yep.
Yep.
So Sanella asking about, what about HBS? Should they just replace their HBS with a ride share? You have to think about the benefits of an HBS. You're a business owner, you know, so I mean, both plans have a few different features. So, you know, they have the IRS audit, but you know, you got some other coverage there for the supplement. So it's the benefit you're needing, Sanella. So both of the plans have different coverages, different benefits. So it's what the individual needs.
well, Sherranda, you know as well as I do, on our regular family plan or the life events legal plan, it will not answer business questions. In
Right.
other words, or look over business contracts or do collection letters or what have you. And so therefore, even though it does have IRS in it, it still doesn't have those features that if you're in business, that you really you should have.
And the debt collection as well.
So we probably need to move forward, Sherranda, on this, going through these questions because
Okay,
we're
go.
about 20 something after. And I know
Okay.
after we get through, we're probably going to have some questions.
Okay, doesn't the legal plan already include traffic benefits? So why would anyone need this supplement? Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need to do
Okay.
this. Yep.
If a prospect works for a ride share company and his or her spouse works for a trucking company and drives a 4-axle vehicle, will the supplement cover both of their traffic tickets?
Okay, so this is a good one to make sure you understand. No, this supplement will not provide coverage for a spouse who works for a trucking company because the trucks are more than 2 axle. That's what Mr. Randy's been talking about, is the weight and the axles. In this situation, a supplement and a CDL plan for his or her spouse would need to be offered to provide the proper protection. So the way I'm viewing the supplement is not going to really disturb our CDL plan and our legal plans that we're selling out there to the commercial CDL drivers.
Right.
That's going to stay intact. Okay,
Right.
let's go to the next question.
Doesn't the legal plan already include traffic benefits? So why would anyone need this supplement?
Yes, the legal plan provides traffic benefits, but the legal plan does not provide coverage for the commercial or income producing purposes. And that's what we were talking about earlier. And I screwed up the question to Mr. Randy about the personal vehicle. And if you're generating income from that, the legal plan would not cover it, but with the supplemental, it does. So this opens up a new world for us through the legal plan. Okay,
Right.
this next one is really key because these are some features of the program that we did not see on that little one-page bullet point thing that the very first slide that we showed you. Okay, Sherranda?
Can the provider law firm distinguish personal traffic violations that the legal plan covers and ride share traffic violations?
So the
Can they distinguish those?
Okay, the rideshare supplement covers the member on all rideshare and delivery moving violations in the court of original jurisdiction, often called the trial court. These violations must have happened while engaged in rideshare and delivery activities. Now, these are the ones that we got to pay close attention. There's 4 of them here. If a member violates the violation results in a misdemeanor or felony, they may choose to utilize the 25% discount. They may choose to utilize the 25%. Okay, the next one, the next bullet point, defense of a member for any accident that involved in during a rideshare or delivery activity may result in a criminal charge as manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. Does this ring a bell? Negligent homicide and vehicle homicide in the court. So if there is a fatality accident in the rideshare, it is covered. Okay. So if a member's rideshare and delivery vehicle is damaged, their provider law firm will provide them up to 2.5 hours. And if you remember the CDLP, it's in that too, 2.5 hours of their time for consultation, research, and document review related to the recovering of the damages of the vehicle received as long as the claim is less or equal to $5,000. So Randy, what is it in the CDLP?
It's 2,000.
2000.
Yeah, so everybody get that?
This is good.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is
Yep.
really good. So it's $5,000 in this rideshare supplement. Please note that the attorney can advise member concerning any lawsuit as part of this plan, but filing the lawsuit and taking it to court is only available under the 25% discount. And then the next bullet point, members must submit their traffic citation to the provider law firm, get this now, within 5 days. What is it commercially?
3.
We ask that they do it in 3, but
3.
they're saying that you got to turn it into your state attorney firm in 5 days of the receipt of the citation in order to give the provider law firm time to prepare to represent them in court if needed. So we see, and in my opinion, Sherranda and Randy, you can give me your feedback on it, but on this little personalized flyer that goes out, you can, with all the bullet points, I think the fatality accident should be plugged as one of the features on this. And we're gonna talk to Mr. Daniel Wall and see if we can get this added on there, Randy, because I think that really needs to be in there.
And of course, that goes along. This is why this program, Lamar, is going to be so great, is with this manslaughter, because a lot of people think their insurance can take care of that.
That's right.
If they're driving for Uber and whatever, and if they don't have their car, if they're driving for Uber or making money out of it, if they don't have their car registered to commercial insurance, it's not going to even pay them on their car, much
So
less anything else.
That's a criminal offense, is it not?
Yes.
And if you'll notice up here, this first bullet point, if the member's violation results in a misdemeanor or felony, they may choose to utilize 25%. Well, I'm going to choose the second bullet point. If it's a fatality accident, I'm going to let that cover me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to choose.
Hey, Lamar.
Yeah.
Hey, if you or Randy, however y'all want to do it, split it, whoever else want to get involved, that's the trainer, answering that question, just spend a little bit of time on that, because I get that question still to this day. And to some people it's debatable, to some people it's debatable, but to Legal Shield is not. And for those that understand the industry, it's not. Like, insurance is not covering that, like Randy just said. But can we touch on that a little bit more? Because people seem to keep thinking that when somebody has some specific kind of insurance, that they're gonna tackle tragic accident for that driver, and that's just not the case.
Mr. Randy?
That's the biggest hole in your insurance, even on your personal vehicle. You have to understand the insurance company is out for the insurance company. And if it's something against them, they will fight for it, but they're not going to fight for you. That's the reason this is so very important to our commercial driver. This tragic accident, whenever you deliver our program in a driver situation, if you don't tell them anything except we protect them for tragic accident, that's enough for them to buy the program right there, because there is no way that insurance will cover any of that. And especially the people that are driving for the pizza companies with pizza delivery, and they're driving with Uber and Lyft and the different delivery services like that. If they're using their personal vehicle has to have commercial insurance on it. I've just spoken with one of the agents that I'm a licensed agent, and I've talked with a couple of the other agents that I've talked to, and they have told me, we have started asking that question now. Do you drive for pizza? Do you drive for Uber? Do you drive for Lyft? Because they will not write that insurance anymore unless they write it as commercial insurance, because it will not cover. I mean, if they have an accident, it won't even, their liability is no good. They will be sued for everything they own.
When this thing come out, I emailed all of my associates that I had, because this is going to be an awesome program, and it's going to be really fantastic for the.
If you add it, if you stop and think about it, you add it to the $18.95 plan. That's a $31.90 sale. That's $32 pop on every PC point every
Let's
time.
go through these next few questions, because I'm gonna make a comment as it relates to transportation, and I'm gonna try to focus in on transportation and close out. So Sherranda, let's read these last 4 questions.
Can a supplement be offered to a group?
Yes, the price is $12.95. How much is it for a individual on the street that's paying $24.95 for a legal plan? How much is the supplement?
$12.95.
$12.95. So it's $12.95 for the group, $12.95 if you're selling it for full price. It must be an approved supplement by the group. In other words, the group's got to approve it to be offered as a payroll deduction. All right, next.
Can the supplement be added to a law enforcement plan or a teacher's plan?
No, they just absolutely didn't give us any details. They just said no.
Can a supplement can it be added to a CDLP plan or a business plan, small business plan?
Answer is no.
If a member receives a ticket in another state, will they still receive benefits?
Yes, we will provide coverage for out of state and interstate traffic tickets.
Lamar?
Yeah, Mr. Randy.
Let me tell you, the reason the law officers plan and teacher plan be added is they were before 2014.
Yeah.
It goes back to the 2014 deadline.
Now, of course, this is a transportation space that we talk about, selling the CDLP membership, and this is what we've been doing for a long time. So let me focus in on transportation just for a few minutes, because I have a lot of trucking companies. I have a good many that are just what we call hotshot companies. I've got flatbed companies that's got like 100 flatbeds and 50 hotshot trucks. And these hotshot, I call them hotshot. Some people may not, but they're called hotshot trucks. And these are pickup trucks, 1/2 ton, 3/4 ton, and 1 ton pickup trucks. And all of these drivers, unless they're pulling a gooseneck trailer, most all of them have a Class C license. Okay. So these pickup trucks, instead of buying a CDL plan, they might get more benefits out of it by buying the legal plan with the supplement. Now, Mr. Randy, help me with the math here. So if I sell one of these programs, let's say my group has the legal plan for $18.95, and I sell a supplement, what is the price of that program?
It's $31.90.
And so that's a little bit more than a CDLP. But here's the thing, and a CDLP would cover both, okay? But that member, most of my hotshot trucks out there, and that's in a fleet, most of them never have been stopped for a DOT, roadside inspection. But they do get a bunch of moving violations, tail lights, lights, those sort of things. They get a lot of those. So this supplement, they might get a lot more benefits out of the legal plan with the supplement. I can see that being just, oh man, that's going to be an awesome program for my hotshot part of the fleet of that trucking company.
The owner operators, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if it's got a gooseneck trailer on it, most of those guys have got a CDL, Mr. Randy, and this plan, if they're pulling a trailer, does not qualify. So you're stuck with selling the CDLP to that person in a dually that's pulling a gooseneck trailer. You got to sell that CDL plan for that. But these little pickup trucks, I have got a bunch of them in Houston, and every city across the country out there has probably got a lot of hotshot trucks. These are little pickup trucks. They might be hauling a little small box in the back end of the truck. It might be a bigger box that's strapped down, and they're just going across town. Might be 30 minutes across there or an hour. It's called a hotshot delivery. And that needs to be over to the medical center in 2 hours. Boom, my truck is on the way and making that delivery. Well, by selling the legal plan and the supplement, that is going to be an ideal thing. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, how many people can you think of that are Uber drivers and Lyft drivers? And I started making a list already. And some of those have my legal plan already. I got to come back and sell them the supplement. But Sherranda, you want to make some comments on that? I mean, I think this is going to be a great selling opportunity.
Yeah, this plan probably will go to a lot of the people that I normally wouldn't prospect to with our CDL plan.
So Sherranda, look at our questions real quick, and I'm gonna take this screen share off and see if we got any more questions out there.
Freddie had a question. Would an office admin using their personal vehicles to do deliveries for the employer be covered by this supplement?
I would think so, Mr. Randy. Would you?
So long as they own, they're titled on the vehicle and they're being paid to do that, it's the same thing as an Uber driver taking someone. So, I mean, it falls under the criteria. By the way, I looked up at a director level, that compensation on the rideshare and the 1895 plan, compensation is $127.
For which level?
Director.
There you go. That's pretty good.
How about Amazon vans?
Lamar?
Well, if it's
Hold on a minute there. How about Amazon vans?
No, if that driver that's driving it does not own it, no.
Well, a lot of the Amazon drivers are now owning the Amazon van with Amazon on it.
There
If
you
so,
go.
if they're owning it, it doesn't carry over 19.5, 2 axles, less than 6 tires, it would cover.
So, Mr. Randy, we can't assume anything until we ask the question, can we?
Right.
That's right.
We'll be getting clarification on a bunch of this.
I mean, Sherranda's an expert on asking those questions, so she's going to flush that out real quick.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
So you got people asking about like after school daycare, martial arts, or dance bands. And Sanella keep talking about marijuana. We're talking about we're not talking about marijuana.
So
We
I'm
gotta
just going to
talk
get,
about it because it's in several states is actually legal and actually a legit business. And it's really important because nowadays most people do not go to dispensaries to actually get their medical marijuana, that they have the card that allows them to have it, but get it delivered to their homes. And whether you guys like it or not, that's happening in California, it's happening in Colorado. So when we talked about, what's the
I
legal
know what you meant
business,
about it. I'm not
and
saying that we're
this
not
is
talking
legal
about it.
business.
Yeah, I understand what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it. I know why you brought it up. Yeah,
That would
Randy
be a
want to
really
answer
good
that
question. That would be a really
Randy.
good question for corporate.
for the corporate. Yeah, and the legal off the legal. Yeah,
so
you
Mr.
know.
Randy, I think let's reinforce again what are the parameters for this program in terms of the size of the vehicle, the weight, the tires.
Yeah.
Just give us all the dimensions one more time.
One vehicle with two axles, a steering axle in the front and a pulling axle in the back.
Okay.
That's considered two axles. If there's a third axle like a dump truck, two axles. No more than 19,000 pound capacity. The owner has to be the titled owner of the vehicle, whether they're making payments on it or not. They still have to be the titled owner of the vehicle. And it can have no more than 6 tires. So that does include like a dually pickup that has 4 tires under the back of it. Like what you're talking about, a lot of people use to hot shot services, a ton of this or a half ton of that or what have you someplace.
So ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's 4 different features that Randy just told us. And those 4, everybody on this call needs to write those down, okay? Because that will qualify with those details that Randy just went through. No more than 2 axles, no more than 6 tires, no more than 19,500 pounds. And you got to be a licensed driver and owner of that vehicle. So there's 4 key things that you got to know when you're selling this program. Okay, Sherranda, another question before we run?
And we named what states it wasn't available in. It is available in Washington State because it connects to the legal plan, not the CDL plan. Yeah, the CDL plan is different for Washington State, but this doesn't connect to a CDL plan. It connects to the legal plan. So it's not available in Massachusetts, Nevada, or New York.
So Sherranda, I would assume they'll be updating the states at a glance real quick, won't they?
Yes, they will.
Yeah, and so you can take everybody knows what that is. So you'll want to print that off and have it. Yep.
And so, Freddie, we answered that. You came on a little late. This supplement and the HBS has different features. So it's better to ask the individual questions before trying to debate whether or not they need one or the other. I think that question had already come up. So, and you had a question. Sanella answered that for her about the person. So who they wanted clarification about who the plan covers. So people have to be on the title. Sanella said the person has to be on the title of the vehicle, or the owner of the vehicle has to be on the registration, correct? And that is doing the ride share. No lease means if you work in the commercial industry, some of these commercial drivers lease trucks. But I mean, we as individuals can lease cars and use that car and do Uber Eats. You know what I'm saying? So lease is different what we're meaning here. We're thinking about the commercial industry not leasing of a vehicle. So if you lease your car, like my son leases his Honda Accord, it's still his car. You know what I'm saying? So he still can get this plan attached to a legal plan.
Yep.
Does that make sense for the person who asking about lease?
Yep. It's almost 15 minutes over, so I think we ought to toss it back to Mr. Robert for closing comments.
All right, fantastic, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Randy, and Ms. Sherranda for doing that. I know we got a lot of questions answered, but I know it's a lot more that you guys probably will have, but it's new to all of us. So if you need to hear this again, of course, it'll be posted probably tomorrow on YouTube and on the Facebook page, on the CDLP Facebook page. And again, some questions you may need to ask Legal Shield because it's a brand new plan. So if that's the case, just if it's something that's not in the FAQs or we didn't answer here, just reach out to Legal Shield and get an answer. And if you can, once you get the answer, put it on the Facebook page so that we all have the answer from that point on this. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get everything closed out, guys. Thank you again, guys. Again, Lamar, Randy, Sherranda, the people who jumped on and asked some questions, the ones who put questions in the chat box, because the more questions we get, the more answers we give, and the more people get answers, even the ones that don't ask. So we want to definitely appreciate you guys for doing that. So next week, same time, same channel, we'll be on Zoom at 8:30, answering some questions and doing some training again. So we look forward to hearing from you guys next week. And between now and then, you can go to the Facebook page and have conversations with us there. And individually, you can text, email, direct message us if you have any questions, other than Lamar, because he's not on Facebook, but you can reach out to Lamar on his cell phone. So everybody have a fantastic evening. And you guys, all right. Goodbye, everybody. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you guys next
You
week.
bet.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Good
Thank you
night.
very much.
Thanks for everything.
Go sell some memberships. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
I'm gonna be selling some, I can assure you.
Thank you.
Lamar, give me a
Just a
call.
reminder, text for this call. This is my first time, and when I logged on, it said you can text something for reminder information.
For this call, no, we don't have a text reminder set up for this, but we do have an email blast. So if you text or email me your email address, I'll add you to the email blast. That
Okay, and
goes out.
what is your email or phone number? How do I do that?
The easiest is probably going to be my easiest email is going to be Dunbar, my last name, dunbar.robert@gmail.com. And just email me and say add me to the CDLP blast, and I'll get you put right in there, and then you'll get the emails coming out. You'll get the recording email to you, and you'll get the live call reminder.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you got it anytime.
Yeah, people they confused. They confused at times.
Oh, what happened?
No, that was just they asked about they asking about college kids and adult children drive their car, they covered. I mean, that's under the legal plan. I mean, that has nothing to do with the supplement.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are just confused too, because rideshare is so close to CDLP. People just assume that this has something to do with CDLP, the rideshare plan. And because it doesn't, a lot of people are thrown off by that as well. Because they just like, you know what I mean? They just like confused, like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, they
You
trying
know,
to
if
figure
this is-
out. But that goes back to just learning the product, and it's new, so they're gonna add to. I'm sure that's a live FAQ, and so it's new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's gonna keep adding information, But like Lamar said about the tragic accident is a good part to put on the flat sheet, like the tragic accident part.
Here's a
So-
good question for it. A lot of drivers rent their vehicles now for Uber and those. They're not leasing them, but they will like rent them. I don't know the technicalities. So I wonder if that's covered because the car is not in their name. But so they're renting
On the
it.
vehicle.
What's that?
Yeah.
Own it.
Right,
And
right.
it's not gonna cover them because they don't own it, and that's why they have that clause in there. So people
Right.
renting through Uber or Lyft or whatever, like, cause I got a friend of mine that lives in Jacksonville, and he was doing Uber Eats or something. He was doing some ride share or something, and he was leasing a vehicle from it was coming out of his pay. He would
Right.
he can't get the supplement because it's not his vehicle. Like you can't lease a vehicle and then get the supplement to cover it. It has to be your vehicle, meaning you own it outright, or
Right.
you have it purchased like you would purchase any car and you're just paying the note every month.
People will be asking. Awesome. I'm going to send this. Is there going to be any kind of breakout for the convention for the CDLP group? This is like my first time and my first time on a call, so I don't know.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
If you plug into our Facebook page, it's a lot of information. It's the commercial. Are you on the commercial drivers? What is
I
it? Dunbar?
am, and I tend to miss a lot of stuff, so I thought I would just,
Yeah, it's best to
since I
just
was
plug into
finished.
that page, and it'll keep you informed.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, it's that, and I mean, like what Sherranda is saying, is like honest with you, the reason why we started the CDLP page is because there is no information anywhere else. Like no, there's nowhere that they release anything. Like if you're not in a CDLP certification training class, you're not going to get any information on CDLP certification. That's just kind of how it is. So you have to plug into that CDL page, this call, and then consistently go to the CDLP certifications online. Right now, those are going to be your 3 places to get the information. Now, again, we recorded every training call that we've done from January of 2018 up until now. And in my opinion, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the training team that's doing this, in my opinion, listening to those calls will give you more information than you're going to receive by just being in the certification training. Because the certification training is going to certify you, but those calls are field calls. We're talking about going into companies, talking to decision makers, doing role play, what's going to happen when you say this, how you respond to those things. Those are the things that you're going to get out of listening to the replays, and you're going to hear testimonials of people going out and doing the business and how they're opening up groups, which is going to be very important to you to build your confidence when you go out to talk to companies or call on companies, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to find that. Thank you.
Yeah, they're right on the page. You'll see them. When you click on it, it'll pull out. If you can't find it, just reach out to me, and then I'll help guide you through it. But one of our Zoom calls like this that we've done, we actually went to the recordings on the Zoom call so that you guys would see how to do it on the Facebook page.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Robert, I hate to make it any longer, but one of the things about it, I wanted her to understand the reason that we have such an opportunity in CDL is because not all the rest of the associates are doing it.
That's it. That's exactly right. When I started selling CDLP in Houston, I could go to any account out there, Mr. Randy. Now that was 10 years ago.
You still
I could
can.
go anywhere and not run across another Legal Shield associate.
You
Now,
can
that's not true
still.
today, but it's still a big market. Big market.
I have a list of 30 companies. I live right by a big, huge hub, and I'm certified, but I don't have the confidence to go out there and talk to them. And
you can Sherranda Ivey.
I don't know what to do.
Help you with that.
What's that?
What was that?
Sherranda, she'll help you with that.
What?
Help her with those companies she doesn't have the confidence to go in.
Oh, girl, yeah, we'll help you with that. Absolutely.
Because I got a list.
Where are you located?
I'm in the Chicago area.
Okay, yeah, we'll help you. All of us will help you with that. We'll split it up.
Because I want to do this. I mean,
We want to help you.
I know how you feel. I just have to say, they say that it's important not to go by yourself to these different places. I'm in Florida, and there's a lot of these large stores like Costco's and everything, and there's always these areas where the CDLP drivers park, and I can't get anybody to go with me. But I just realized I'm in Royal Palm Beach. I'm actually right near a big Costco and things like that. But I just have to say, I realized something was really exciting this past week, and I want to share it with Miss Erica because we're both new. I realized that a lot of times if you're in South Florida, even if you're in a really small residential area, like I used to be in Loxahatchee, now I'm in Royal Palm, a lot of times these long haul truckers will actually park on your street because they have no choice. And so now I just keep an eye out. I always have this printout of the 101 with a little explanation of who I am and my card by the door. And when I see that one of them's parked out there on my street. I just walk out and I thank them for their service and I give them a water bottle. It's just, there's always opportunities. And now with this, it's really great because, you know, if you do like Instacart, like the lady that was doing our Instacart today, she's new to it. She's been waiting to do it. And she's also doing Uber and Lyft on the side. And it's like, this is something that I thought you might like because you're clearly a really caring person. You like serving people. And this is something that can be helping you while you're helping other people. And she was really excited about it. So it's like, because of this virus and everything going on and living in our areas, even though maybe people aren't willing to go out there with us, it's okay because a lot of times those people, those possible clients will come out to us. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, you got the state trainer for Georgia on the line here, so he'll be more than happy to help. I mean, for Florida on the line, he'll be more than happy to help you.
That will
We're
help me.
going places. Is that Rachel?
I'm Raquel.
Raquel.
Hi.
Raquel. Okay, Raquel. Hey, I like your style. You're gonna do good.
Thank you.
Goodness,
I
yeah,
hope so.
wow.
I had a lady that was in an apartment complex, and I believe it was behind Costco, and she was set up on her balcony. And when the big 18-wheelers backed in there to unload, she would come down and go speak to the driver. And she's selling membership sitting on the balcony of her apartment complex. That's where she operated from, right there.
That's
And she was
awesome.
selling memberships to those truck drivers. Yep.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
I had that wavelength because of the trash people on our street. They've been a little bit like just visually depressed. You can tell they're kind of depressed. And so I did the same thing